bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite icons and athletes. I'm Billy Capistrano. In tonight's Game Plan, we'll discuss Caloy Yulo's big win in the Gymnastics World Championship and find out what's next for the Philippines Golden Boy.
We'll also look ahead to Game 4 of the PBA Finals as Tenorio shares his General's orders for the TNT Tropang Giga and the Magnolia Hotshots. And we'll talk about the biggest snubs in the NBA's 75 greatest player of all time list. Plus, we'll break down how important Klay Thompson and KYRIE Irving are to their respective teams' title chances. Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. Caloy Yulo made an epic comeback in the Gymnastics World Championships, bagging a gold in vault and a silver in parallel bars. As the 21-year-old Golden Boy continues to look sharp in reaching for his goals, let's talk about his recent win and how it is instrumental for Caloy's overall journey. Joining us tonight is the president of the Gymnastics Association of the Philippines, Miss Cynthia Carrion. Miss Cynthia, welcome to the game.
Hello, thank you for inviting me, Paolo. And I remember you were in the World Championship, in the World Olympics, and we were both so disappointed. Remember, you came to me and we were so sad. But anyway, now he made it well. He made it good.
Yeah.
In fact, the sad thing again that he lost again the floor, which is his best exercise.
Yeah, that's actually incredible, Miss Cynthia. Then again, yes, we both were very sad back in Tokyo.
Yes,
with what
remember.
happened there. But could you describe, of course, the feeling of maybe relief, maybe the happiness, the joy within Caloy's camp after this latest World Championship?
Oh yes, we were so relieved because at least we know that he's very good in goal, but at least in the vault and in the parallel bar, that's really amazing. The parallel bar, he did a fantastic job there. And that is, yeah, but the second vault was the high one and it was really good. Anyway, what was your question?
No, I was just wondering what was the mood
Because
like.
I was watching Caloy, I forgot.
No, it's okay.
It's okay, no
As we
problem.
mentioned, it's like poetry, that second vault in particular. But then we were wondering about how the mood was of Caloy after the entire event, simply because Tokyo was a disappointment, and this time around, it just felt like redemption.
Yes, it is redemption. Because when after the floor again and he didn't make it, I saw him in the evening and he said, "Don't worry, Mom, I will fight. Tomorrow is going to be our day." And he made it, He made it. He made sure that it's going to be his day and he stuck to the floor,
Yes. Now, Miss Cynthia, what was Caloy's mindset coming into this competition?
His mindset was really winning to revenge his Olympic champion that he didn't do. It was really, really, if you know how he really felt very, very bad. And he really wanted to show the world that he could make it, So now he's not only good in the floor, and you can see that he's also good in the vault, and he's also good in the parallel bar. Mm-hmm. And for the Paris 2024, we're going to compete for all around. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we have 3 years. He's going to practice his rings, his high bar, and his pommel horse. So we can also compete all around.
Ms. Cynthia, when we look at his latest competition and the way he ended Tokyo, he mentioned right after Tokyo that he was going to stay, he was going to keep on training, he's not going to stop en route to becoming a better athlete. Could you tell us a bit about his growth from the Olympics to this particular tournament and where you see his growth going moving forward?
Well, if anybody saw him in the World Champions, it was a different Caloy. It was not the same Caloy that we met in the Olympics. It's very different. He's matured. He was motivated. He's really so serious in his training. And even when I asked him for Caloy, they want to interview you, Mom. I prefer to to train. He wants to just train
Yeah.
and train and train and be the athlete that everybody, all of us, want him to be, you know? And
Ma'am,
he really wants to show the Philippines that he is a good athlete. You know, Paolo, all the judges there and all the presidents of the federations were telling me that we have a gem as an athlete in Caloy. They said, Cynthia, you really have to take care of that boy because he's really a gem. He's only 21. He will peak at the age of 25. You know,
well,
imagine.
he is still a bit away from that peak, Miss Cynthia. And I was actually wondering, since you were able to follow his training, since you were able to follow his progression since Tokyo, what did losing do for him to make sure that it doesn't happen again? Because if I'm not mistaken, one of the quotes before this particular tournament was that he didn't want a repeat of the mistakes that happened before.
Correct. He didn't want to be feeling the way he felt when the world in the Olympics. He really felt he really felt very bad. Both Coach Mooney also, the coach, who felt very bad. So they said we will revenge for the next World Championship. They really, and this World Championship, Paolo, was even harder than the Olympics.
Really?
Because there were so many in the country, and some of the Olympic winners were there in China and in Japan. The only one missing was the guy from Israel. He didn't come. I asked the president of the Israel Federation, why didn't he come? Because he didn't train. All he did was interviews, because he won the Olympic championship. So he was interviewed, and he couldn't make it.
Now, Miss Cynthia,
So-
what's next for Caloy? A lot of fans want to know, is he going to rest for a little bit or balik na naman siya sa training?
No, continue training. He's going to continue training. And there's competition for him in December, the early December. He's going to compete. And then he's going to come to the Philippines for Christmas for a few days. And then go back to Japan for more training.
Well,
And get ready for the SEA Games, get ready for the Asian Games, get ready for the Liverpool gymnastics game, get ready for the and also the Birmingham, USA
yeah.
World Championship. There's a lot of competition going on in 2022. So he's getting ready for all of that, and he wants to win medals. That's what he wants to do. And we want him to win medals.
Absolutely. Miss Cynthia, thank you very much for all the updates. We can't wait to see him back and competing. And of course, since he's coming back here for Christmas, siguro you can help us get a Christmas gift and bring him in on
Why
the show.
not?
Oo, na live
Yes,
dito.
we would
Tignan
love
natin.
that.
Oo.
Yes. You want to see my medal? They also
Pwede rin po. All right, Miss Cynthia.
Oh, where is it? There.
There it is. All right, Miss
Sa
Cynthia.
NSA, they gave me also a medal, gold medal.
All right, Miss Cynthia. Thank you very much.
Pablo.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you po.
I want to hear about Thompson. Is he going to start playing again?
You know what? We're actually may touch on that later, so stay tuned po. Because after the break, four-time PBA Finals MVP Tenorio joins us live as he shares his general's orders for Magnolia and TNT ahead of Game 4 of the PBA Finals. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. Welcome back to The Game. I'm Paolo Del Rosario. The 2021 PBA Philippine Cup continues to heat up with the TNT Tropangiga still leading the series 2-1 after Magnolia's Game 3 win. Now joining us to discuss their next showdown is four-time PBA Finals MVP and senior analyst here on the game, L.A. Tenorio, yung idol ni Billy.
Yes,
Because
ever since.
according to Billy, watched him since grade school.
Grade 1.
Grade 1, grabe. Woo!
Grabe yun.
Grade 1 idol, grade 1. Big fan.
Anyway,
Grade 1.
I mean, like, you were destroying my
Grade
future
3 ka-
school.
grade 3 ka
Grade
pa.
3 ako nun. Anyway, let's not go into that. LA,
Okay.
unang-una, let's talk really quick about the Game 3 win of Magnolia first. Your initial impressions, especially yung the way that they started and were able to hold back yung 39-point game ni Mikey Williams.
I think the most important thing with that is really the aggressiveness, no, from the start of the game. As we all know, Tokentex for the past two, Game 1 and Game 2, they really came out with, they were on fire.
Yeah.
No? During the first quarter, and the Pure Foods and Magnolia didn't catch up anymore. So the difference nitong Game 3 is Magnolia was really aggressive defensively and offensively. They were running, they were sharing the ball also. That's why they had the lead for the first time in the first quarter against Tokentex. So I think that was the big factor also during that game.
No, absolutely. I completely agree, LA. And you were very nice to us here on the show kasi you gave us orders kasi ikaw yung general eh. So this is a little segment that we like to call the General's Orders. So anong ibig sabihin ng General's Orders? Well, we asked him for the keys to winning for both these two teams. And Billy, you have the
Yes.
first one here.
So we're gonna start things off, LA, syempre, the General's Orders for Magnolia. So iisahin natin yan and you're just gonna break it down for us. First up, sabi mo, less touches for Mikey Williams. Very obvious naman. Kung maka 39 points ka nga naman, di ba? So what are your thoughts about this? Bakit ito yung sinabi mo?
Less touches, of course, instead of denying him completely the ball, no? It's really hard to completely deny him the ball, no? So, pero yung less touches, I think can affect also the rhythm also of Mikey Williams. And again, it's not only Mikey Williams that you're gonna guard in Tokentex. No? There's Jason Castro, of course.
Yeah.
There's Jason Castro. There's R.R. Pugoy. And also their bigs, also Ryan Reyes and some of the veterans also. So I don't think denying completely Mikey Williams and play 4-on-4 against Tokentex will solve the problem of Magnolia. It's gonna be really hard. So less touches to parang to break the rhythm of Mikey Williams.
Alright, now yung pangalawa mo naman, sinabi mo, feed Ian Sangalang in the paint.
Yes, I think nakita ko kasi yun eh. I saw that also during the San Miguel and Tokentex series, no. Whenever they give the ball to Junmar Fajardo, Tokentex had a hard time, no. Guarding the whole team, no, not only Junmar. So I said that also because I think Ian can operate also in the post, no. If they don't double against Ian, I think Ian Sangalang can make a move easily, against the guards of Tokentex, because Ian is very talented also. He's smaller than Junmar, but he can do a lot of things in the post also. So if the ball will start with Ian, I think it's easier also for the guards, and it will open up also for the guards of Magnolia, especially for Paul Lee. No, and I think if Ian is in the post, and then the weak side will be Calvin Abueva. Calvin can go for the rebound, which is his specialty.
Yeah.
No?
LA, you mentioned the magic word because the next point is?
The General's Order for Magnolia, and the last one is TNT should feel Calvin Abueva's presence.
Yes, the whole conference actually, Calvin was really the problem of the whole team, no? Actually, lahat ng team siya yung problem because of his aggressiveness, he's playing in a different level and he's playing focus.
Yeah.
In the game. No, I think that's the main thing. Kaya naging, he's part of the top 5 this conference. So because he's really focused on his game, not doing the usual antics of Calvin, just focusing on the game, just playing the game. I think that's really important, especially coming to game 4. Calvin should be on point, on point. That means just play the game, stay focused. Wag na siyang sumali sa mga scramble or kung ano man mga he's a very physical player, but doing the other stuff. I think sana wag na lang niyang gawin yun and focus on the game for them to have a chance to win in game 4 again.
Well, we all know how emotional he could play, and nakita natin yan. He wears his heart on his sleeves. Again, the points were less touches for Mikey Williams, feed Ian Sanggalang in the paint, and of course, TNT should feel the beast's presence. Let's move on to the TNT Tropang Liga.
All right, now the General's orders for TNT. First up, sinabi mo, match Magnolia guards energy.
Yes, yun yung sinabi ko because what happened during Game 3. I thought Magnolia was really aggressive that game. And I'm sure going to Game 4, yun yung gagawin din ng Magnolia. So I think going to Game 4, I think the Talk and Text should go back to their aggressiveness from the start, which they did Game 1 and Game 2.
Well, we saw that the most aggressive person on the floor in that first quarter was Gio Halalon, and it really made a big difference, especially with an injured Mark Baroka. But then the second point is really interesting, Billy, because in general, this is yung identity ng TNT, and perhaps maybe didn't execute to the fullest of their extent.
So the second one, better dribble drive spacing to open up the shooters.
Yes, actually, that's the main. That's the main offense already of Talk and Text. If Talk and Text guards mostly, actually dribble drive is mostly it's a guard oriented offense. So mainly if that's connected actually in the first one. If the players of Talk and Text like Mikey Williams and Jason, even Ryan Reyes.
Yeah.
If they're gonna be aggressive, it will open up a lot of 3-point shooters, in the likes of RR Pugoy, even Jason Castro if they play together as a guard with Mikey Williams, and even some of their guards and some of their big guys also. If Troy will not play, probably Kelly Williams and other big guys can step up also. And if TNT will make those threes again, and that can open up the threes to all the guards also of Talk and Text, I think Magnolia will have a hard time.
You mentioned it, LA. Troy Rosario might not be able to play because of the dislocated pinky, which unfortunately I'm sure everyone has now seen. But when you look at your last point, yung last order mo dito, be physical and control the rebounds. Without an athletic guy and a guy who fills up so much space like Troy Rosario on the team, gaano ka-importante yung order na to?
This is important kasi part of the dribble drive also is really running the floor. They cannot run if they cannot stop. They cannot defend. If they cannot defend Magnolia, they cannot run and go to their spaces, go to their spots actually with the dribble drive. So I think rebounding is very crucial. So Troy will not play. I think it's gonna be gang rebounding.
Yeah.
Should be a gang rebounding with the Talk and Text team. Even the guards should rebound. And some of the guards of Talk and Text are good rebounders. The likes of RR Pogoy, Ryan Reyes, even Mikey Williams rebound. So I think the thing is they really have, without Troy Rosario, I think they're the most athletic player in the team.
Yeah.
I think they really have to help each other out on rebound this time. They're gonna have a hard time, but but they have to do it. They don't have any choice.
Yeah. Well, LA, we're gonna ask you the hardest yet simplest question out there here, Billy.
Ito parang fearless forecaster niyo. We've been asking all our guests this question. Nahihirapan talaga sila eh. What are your predictions for Game 4? And if your gut si LA, who's gonna win Game 4?
He predicted na mag-overtime yung Game 7 eh, ng San Miguel and TNT.
What
Hindi
is
naman
the
nila
answer?
totoo eh. Oo.
I think I think without Troy Rosario, no? I think because Troy will do a lot of things. No? He can rebound, he can spread the floor, he can defend Ian Sanggalang and even Calvin. He can defend Calvin. He's a physical player also. So the presence of Troy will be it's a big factor with Talk and Text. So I think Magnolia is ready for that with this two-day break that they had. So I think Magnolia have a chance. It's gonna be a 70 or 60-40 this time.
Okay.
60-40.
Okay, sige. Well, I like the
We'll
fact
remember
that
that.
he's going out on a limb talaga eh, and actually giving us specifics. Pero LA, thank you very much. We're not done with you yet kasi from the PBA, we'll move on overseas. When we return, we'll talk about the biggest snubs in the NBA's 75 greatest players of all time list, and we'll discuss how important Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving are to their respective teams' title chances. Stay tuned. You're watching the game.
Welcome back to the game. The NBA recently released the 75 greatest players of all time list, and a lot of talk has come up regarding the biggest snubs to not make it. One of our favorite reactions is from the Golden State Warriors, who really made sure that Klay Thompson would receive the message. Let's watch this.
To the people, Clay.
Get the New Jersey! Get the New Jersey!
You're still the best player of all time, baby.
New Jersey alert! Who's 76?
There was two they tied. So
It was 2 tied?
As much as we love Klay and the Warriors, another big snub is Dwight Howard, who got so much love from the internet because of all his career achievements. Here to help us with our discussion is none other than our senior basketball analyst for the game, LA Tenorio. Hello again, LA.
Hello again.
He's also one of the better writers out there, huh? Kasi this guy can also write articles talking about LA.
Mabasa nga yung mga yan.
You can check it out on the NBA website. But then LA, ito muna, that video of Klay Thompson, of course, not making it on the list, and he said it over and over again. He feels like he deserves to be there because of how he won. I'm sure you have an opinion on that. Ano masasabi mo tungkol kay Klay and yung snub niya?
Nakakatawa yung video niya. Very talaga siya, no? Very outspoken talaga siya. Ever since naman. And I think again, bakit mo siya 77, not 76?
Oo nga eh. Sino kayo yung 76 na yun?
May tie daw, I heard it. But I think he has a point, no? Again, well, I'll go back to what Reggie Miller's interview, no? This kind of stuff kasi, choosing players 50 or 75, it's really very subjective, right? Very subjective eh. It will cause debate, no? With a lot of people, especially now. But in my opinion, yes, Klay Thompson should be part of the 75 list, 75 players, no, best in the NBA. Why? Because he was really a big factor, no, during their championship run. No, yes, they have KD, they have Steph Curry and Draymond Green, but I think Klay Thompson is a big factor. For me, he's one of the best two-way player in the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before he got hurt.
Yeah, we'll talk about Klay Thompson later on. Pero sa ngayon, let's talk about Dwight Howard. You know, what do you think is his impact in the NBA? And when you think of him, do you think of him as Dwight from Orlando, the journeyman Dwight, or the current Lakers Dwight?
I think honestly, no, I'm not a fan of Dwight, but but I think I like him when he was in Orlando, because he was really, he was really dominating back then. No, if I'm not mistaken, that's the time when he joined the Slam Dunk, right? When he was in Orlando, he was really, dominating when he was there. During the time when he was in Lakers, it's already, there's LeBron and AD already, right? So I think yun nga, mas na magnify yung talent niya and his achievements and his career when he was in Orlando, when he was really dominating.
That was the Superman,
Exactly.
Dwight Howard.
That's what I'm talking about.
When he wore the very tight jersey and jumped over a car. But LA, from the discussion with the top 75 players, we now move on to what's happening currently. We talked about Klay Thompson a while ago, and of course we also have to talk about another player that is missing out due to various circumstances, si KYRIE Irving and the Brooklyn Nets. Now, we see the Brooklyn Nets right now not necessarily as smooth as they could be. How far can they go without si KYRIE Irving at this point of the season?
Well, they're gonna honestly, without Kyrie on that team, who really controls the game and control KD and James Harden, they're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
They're gonna have a hard time figuring out when they miss Kyrie Irving, because their team is built with Kyrie. Diba? All throughout this planning and everything, so they're gonna have a hard time, but they're gonna win games, a lot of games for sure, because of their talent. KD's there, James Harden can handle the ball. I think Steve Nash can play also if he wants to play.
Okay, sige, why not?
But I think they're gonna have a hard time for sure without Kyrie, but eventually, because of their talent and they're all veterans, they're gonna figure it out. Especially when they get into the playoffs. But, deep in the playoffs, I think they need Kyrie.
Yeah, I understand that completely. And LA, we're running out of time, but before we go, one last name, no explanation. Who do you think should have made it into the top 75?
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson, there you go. Perfect. All right. LA, salamat. Thank you very much for joining us again today.
Thank you. Thank you again, guys. Thank you. Good night.
And thank you so much for joining us as well. I'm Billy Capistrano.
And I'm Paolo Del Rosario. This has been The Game.